Welcome to the Roniel and DaRon podcast show. I'm Roniel.
I'm DaRon.
Oh man, today's episode is going to be a very, very good one. But first, start off. Let's just talk about this Megan Thee Stallion thing. I'm still not understanding. Like, can you explain how you knew about Nicki Minaj but didn't know about Megan Thee Stallion?
No.
He doesn't even want to get a clear context, but I mean, this DaRon has screwed up everything. If you guys watched the last episode, be sure to check out and again flame him for getting those wrong. But it's okay. Everybody doesn't actually keep up with what's going on in the times. I mean, some of the music is horrible.
Yeah. Look, honestly, they'd been in the news. I'd seen an article that I read on them, and clearly I did not pay attention to the names much. And so I'm sure this is going to come as a shock to you, but I don't actually listen to much rap. I just don't. It doesn't interest me. I grew up with, like, Okinawan classical music, Japanese classical music, Western classical music, Turkish pop.
So you mean you don't like Young Thug? Are you telling me you don't like this? Are you serious?
It doesn't do anything for me.
Oh my God. You can't tell me it's not good. That's horrible music, by the way. I mean, don't get me wrong. I like Young Thug. But if you really consistent from and I didn't mean to cut you off, from a standpoint and other people's genres of music or things that other people may listen to, that's not something people listen to. And I say is, go ahead.
Oh, I'm just agreeing with it.
I say that I do like the music. I'll tell you why. I like the beats. I like the melodicness of the beats. But to be honest, if I'm being a real critic about the music, it's not rapping. You can't even really tell what they're saying unless you really understand. Like, I can tell what they're saying. I know what they're saying, but a lot of people can't tell what they're saying. It sounds like mumble rap. Thanks to Lil Wayne.
Yes. And I can't stand mumble rap. I really can't. Mike, I need to hear and understand. The kinds of rap I listen to is only the joke stuff, and I don't hear it much. But like Amish Paradise, I know. It's old, but it's funny as hell.
Yeah, no, I get you.
And like, then, stuff like that.
I listen to a lot of different things. I don't, I'm everywhere. I like punk rock and roll, whatever. I like it all. Some things I can't, like, what is it? Heavy metal. Or that, man, some of it with the screaming.
Oh, I can't stand this. That's actually why I really don't like American metal. So I don't listen to much American music in general, but because I don't like techno. I mean, oh my God, rap's gotten filled with techno.
Yeah,
rock and roll has techno everywhere. Stupid Cher brought it back in like 2000 whatever. And I was so happy when it was dead because it deserved to be dead.
Well, you know what? I'm gonna have to give you something else. You know what they're doing now?
What?
They're actually adding in some country. So let me just pull this up for you so you can see this and see how terrible it is for you. All right. Tell me what you think about this. The guy looks so scary. He looks like a fucking cartoon. He looks like Quagmire.
The hell is this?
just take a listen to it. All right, that's enough. But anyway, the thing is you can see that they're adding in the acoustic guitars and stuff like that, and they're adding in different genres of music to try to be different. And I like the creativeness,
right?
And as you know, we do in this genre have a lot of bass.
Yeah,
it's all about bass, but the creativeness that anybody would have thought about doing that is pretty dope. But when you actually start getting into the lyrics, you'd be like, what the fuck is that?
Lyrics have been so weak on a lot of songs for a very long time. I mean, I can't tell you how much I hate a lot of the 1990s rock because they had that Swedish invasion. I mean, the lyrics are just repetitive as hell. It's all chorus and none of it makes any sense. And then they had that again over and over and over again. What was that dumb party song, the rave song? My wife likes it. I can't stand it. My father. Oh, so there was a time. Oh my God, I hate that Swedish from the Swedish House Mafia, folks. I can't stand it. Anyway, I cannot stand extraordinarily repetitive stuff. I can't. I have no patience for it, and I'm just gone. But actually, I do like that you see more of that mixing and playing with different instruments, bringing the different cultures and components together. I think that will do wonders for the rap genre.
Wait a minute. You mean to tell me you don't like this either? Wait a minute. I got you. Do you remember this?
Oh my God. Oh, that is the worst.
Oh my God. I remember when that came out. God, I was, what the fuck is that? Oh, that's some horrible music, man.
The only thing I'll give that song is that it is hilarious. Hilarious from this thing. You know, I mean, they've got this Chromium one too, where it's something similar, that Wrap Me in Plastic thing. But the song itself is insufferable. But at least I can laugh at some of it because it's got this part where it makes a real funny voice thing. And that makes me laugh my head off. But no, oh my goodness.
I wish I had this song my friend sent me a long time ago. It was so long ago. I was in high school. And this guy I think he's from Korea or somewhere, and he's literally like saying no, 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 no. That's how he's doing the whole song, and I'm just like, it reminds me of Pootie Tang. I don't know if you ever seen that movie, but where he didn't say nothing, not a damn thing in there, and that's what he did the whole song, and it was a popular song, and I could not believe that. I think it was Japanese, Korean.
That wouldn't shock me. That wouldn't shock me.
That was bullshit. And now you know Kanye West, right?
Yeah.
Okay, this is my last thing I'm gonna pull up for you guys, and then but I'm. Okay.
We're gonna have to trade music sometime. This is gonna be hilarious.
Yes. We definitely are. Poop. What is it? Okay. All right. I got something for you. This song is so stupid. But yeah, I'm gonna play it.
Whoopity scoop, scoopty dee whoop, whoopty scoopty poop, poopty scoopty scoopty whoop. Whoopity scoop.
What the fuck is this?
Oh,
that was Kanye West, you said?
Yes. Did you see how many views that song got? Oh my God, he was making an example that you could. He was basically.
Mocking,
laughing at everybody because you could make anything nowadays and make it hot.
Oh
and
my
literally,
goodness!
People love that song, man. That song was stupid as shit.
See, and I like it when you have these artists and they come through with something like that where they're trying to make a point. And this actually goes to like what we were talking about when we talked about Squid Game, where they're forcing you to look in the mirror. The unfortunate part is when the audience doesn't look at the mirror or they don't realize what they're looking at. And so it's completely lost on them.
They don't even know, and they just like the song. Like that song, when I heard that song, I could not believe he made a song like that, and it went viral. What the fuck? That song is dumb. Poopity scoop, poopity doopity scoop. Like, come on. I just added. I had to set it off with that one. That shit is insane. But anyway, if you guys haven't, get you some purified water. Do like DaRon in the middle of the session to actually choke because you don't have any water. So please hydrate yourself. Stay hydrated.
Tumors in your throat will do that for you.
Yeah. But enough of the jokes of the game of music. I would like to ask DaRon, why does OWASP suck? Because everybody in the industry follows OWASP top 10. It is the standard, the de facto of everything. So I would like to understand, in your opinion, why does OWASP suck?
You know who follows OWASP in our industry?
Who?
White hats.
Oh, he got you guys again. Boom, 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 boom. 2 for 1. All right. I mean, come on now. Like, so you're telling me that all of the white hats follow this? Too bad we can't name any names, but all of the, are you saying 99% of the industry are white hats that follow the OWASP top 10?
Yes. Well, and you know why they follow it? Because it's written like a 4-year-old wrote it, and it's written with the understanding of a 4-year-old in a way that a 4-year-old could also understand it. And they've done it in a nonsensical way. So, for example, and I posted on this on our, we have a Twitter feed now, which is the RDPS, which is, THE Romeo Delta Papa Sierra. And I just real quickly posted saying that OWASP is terrible, and if you look at their top 10, they have injection, and this has been for years now. They have injection, but then they also, in the list, have other... Let me make this real clear. They have one that is literally called injection, and then they have XML external entities injection, which is another kind of injection, and insecure deserialization, which guess what? And we've demonstrated that on our podcast is injection. And they have also now server-side request forgery, which is injection. So why do you have injection on the top 10 and then have different specific instances of injection? It doesn't make any sense at all. Why would you go from generic entry to specific? Either just make them all specific or make them all generic. I mean, access control, broken access control, that's really broad. That's very generic. Broken access control can mean a whole host of different things. But I posted on my LinkedIn feed complaining about this very thing, and someone had the audacity to respond to my post trying to explain away this by saying, oh, well, they have injection because they're really talking about database injection, but you can't call it SQL injection because not all databases are SQL. It's like,
what?
Yeah.
Stop right there, buddy. You just should have just shot yourself, because that doesn't make any goddamn sense.
I flipped out.
That's not. They're not just talking about database injection. No. There's all types of injection, and they're putting it in one category. What people don't understand is what they're trying to do is a root cause analysis, and that way you can put everything in this. What the fuck?
You've abducted a child, and they're coming to get you.
Yeah, it wasn't me, somebody else. So they're putting this root cause, so it makes it easier for the client to understand. This is not for you guys who are technical. It's mainly easier for people to understand with the root cause, and put them all in one category. It makes it broader. But at the same time, when you're talking to people who are technical, this could become an issue because they may not understand these different types of injection. Right. So just to say injection, and then you got to go and explain why it's in this category.
Right.
To say that it was meant to be database injection, you literally don't understand. You should just not have said nothing at all. You made it bad.
I agree. He clearly hadn't even read any of it, but he's defending it. And it's been this way, actually. I think they started merging in them, and maybe it was 2015. But I know the 2017 list had it merged, and they clearly state that it includes cross-site scripting and SQL injection. And so, as well as other forms of injection. So again, I ask, why are you, OWASP, going through and bringing in different forms of injection and then calling out other forms. All it does is confuse people, and then you get all these people who follow the stupid thing. They clearly never read it. They don't know what the different things on it are, but they defend it like mad. I'll give you a really good example. If you want a really, really good example of just how silly they are, all you have to do is look at their Internet of Things or their hardware or application testing guidelines. All of them are ridiculously bad, absolutely horrible. And so you know what I wind up using, right? What I use instead of OWASP.
Mm-hmm.
So I have been using, since they first came out with it, MITRE. So Sans and MITRE got together like 2007 or maybe even before that, and they started putting together a list, and it's a massive list of CWEs, and that list is utterly phenomenal. It's been well written, it's been well thought out. They have examples in it, they have very clear explanatory text, they have everything you could ever want, and it sits there and talks about the parent-child relationship between various vulnerabilities and so on and so forth. And really, our industry would do itself well if they used those, especially since the CVEs are tied to the CWEs. So if someone submits a common vulnerability, for example, for like Windows 10 has remote path injection or directory traversal or something like that, that would then go and get tied to the appropriate CWE. And that makes it very easy to sit there and say, okay, well, if you want examples of this in the real world, here are examples. And it also lets you sit there and build out the CVSS score much better. I said CVSS score. Wow, that's ironic. It already has the word score in it. Feel bad. But beautifully, the CWEs integrate with the CVS, which integrate with the CVEs and the CVSS, and all of this kind of stuff all comes together. The way MITRE built it, everything comes together in a beautiful fashion. Whereas OWASP's, every project is disjoint. Every project is disjoint. Half the projects that they have hosted are broken and were never completed. And then they have ones like we discussed this before, so Anti-SAMI, which was supposed to be their big anti-cross-site scripting library, completely broken, utterly vulnerable. You can send in body tags. If anyone who uses Anti-SAMI can actually have trivial cross-site scripting through body tags. And I posted about this back in, feels like 2015, and they never fixed it. Instead, they just gave up on the project. It's like Apache.
Which is, speaking of that, I just pulled up the thing, but I wanted to touch bases on the fact that when you say kitty, look at this. This is talking about the time gap theory, which is talking about the time to use the time, that vulnerability. And this is OWASP stuff. This is what they got. This looks like a kitty ass. I mean, if I'm technical and I read, I don't. Why?
Yes.
But to go back to the OWASP, Internet of Things, this is the OWASP top 10 Internet of Things. This is not good. I wouldn't even put this on, like, lack of secure update mechanism. What? I probably wouldn't say it that way either, but a lot of this doesn't make sense.
No.
They're trying to fit it in a root cause analysis, and it doesn't make sense at all.
No.
Now, if we go back, let me pull up the OWASP top 10, because we were talking about the top 10. What is it, 2000?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, 2001.
Yeah, so let's pull that up real quick and look at, because there are some issues with that as well as you're talking about. This right here. So we have a 2017 versus a 2021, and this does not make sense. If that was the case, they could have just kept it the way it was. this right here just does not make any fucking sense to me. And to me, the way OWASP does it is whatever's the most top vulnerabilities of the year, they kind of add that in there and put that in there. But it doesn't make any sense. Like insecure design.
Yeah.
I mean,
so broad. Almost everything fits under that umbrella.
But why is server-side request forgery even its own thing?
Right.
It's injection.
Right. XXE injection is injection. Why was it on there before? And why do they now have that server misconfiguration? Because XXE injection is not necessarily server misconfiguration or security misconfiguration, excuse me.
Well, here's my problem. Okay, so you remember, now I understand the external and stuff like that, but you remember when it was XML injection, right?
Yes.
Now it's XXE injection, and then they have both of those different categories. Why?
Right.
I get it. It's just a different way to exploit, but it's still XML injection or whatever you want to call it, injection. So now they try to separate XXE and an XML injection, and I get it. There's two ways to do different things, but it's still the same shit. It's injection.
Yes, it's injection, and they're trying to split hairs in a way that doesn't make any sense.
It goes back to what we're saying. There's nothing new under the sun. Everybody's trying to give it a different term and something new and something different, like software and data integrity failures. Why don't we just make it? I'm just saying if they were going to keep it, security misconfiguration.
Right.
I mean, I'm not saying that's the best thing, but if you're going to just do it, why not leave it to what it is?
Right. Yes. Why is it that insecure deserialization has been grouped into software and data integrity failures? Because it's not a software integrity failure. It's not a data integrity failure. They clearly don't understand what insecure deserialization is. Insecure deserialization is literally injection. That's not integrity. Integrity is completely, utterly different. Integrity is, did you modify it? The way that I can verify that you didn't modify something is by going through and having a hash or some kind of comparison. Yeah. But that doesn't stop this, and that has nothing to do with this.
Yeah, it's not going to stop it, even if they had a HMAC.
No, because I can sit there and inject code that disables any checks that you're doing. I can go through and set whatever it happens to be because I'm clearly in control. I'm injecting into it. It doesn't make sense. They don't understand what they're doing. And this is my biggest complaint about OWASP and about white hats. OWASP is nothing more than a giant white hat fuck fest. And I'm going to have to remove that part or bleep it. But all it is a bunch of people who have no clue what the hell they're doing or talking about, and they put all this stuff together. It's open web application, right? But why do they talk about applications if they don't understand applications? These guys are white hat website testers who created an organization and wanted to feel big.
The white hat fest. I mean, that's what they should have their new conference, though, the fuck fest. Yes. Not to cut you off, but yes, no, I agree with you. But if we take it a step further, instead of injection, the real issue is also input validation.
Yes.
So, if you look at what is the top 25, they kind of specify that even further. So, I mean, yes, it's injection, but it's also the root cause or issue is people are not validating the shit. It's the input, right. So they're just allowing. So, I mean, I don't even again. This is horrible. So I'm going to go to the top 25.
Right. MITRE CWE type 25 for this year, which is much better done, much better documented. And oh, by the way, instead of running a survey, and we've seen how well surveys work, instead of running a survey, a bullshit survey, they analyzed vulnerabilities that came out across the year. So they have actual scientific data to back up their claims, unlike OWASP.
Yep. And this is the right one, right, for 2021?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, this makes sense, though. Like, you can tie all of these things to it. They have for all the things you find, like command injection.
Yep.
all these things. And then again, like I always use, if you're going to end up using CWEs, or I also use this, which I think is by MITRE as well. And it also points to the CWE, but I also use them as well to look at some of the stuff. And I end up referencing it anyway. And it seems like MITRE is just more applicable. Like it's more technical. It has better names, especially that, and they know what they're talking about. They have even the severities in there for everything.
Right.
So if somebody's arguing severity, to have the severity, the scoring, everything you need to know is right there. There's no debate, and the CVEs tied to that, and all of that.
Yes.
So these makes more sense, and I use them on a daily basis when I'm trying to give references or tying them to a reference, and it makes more sense than the
Yes.
OWASP.
Yes, and they have a beautiful mapping for everything. You can actually see the flow of the different vulnerabilities based on their classification, based on their parenthood, and things of that nature, which you do not get from OWASP. OWASP is just terrible. It's horrible.
And they give
Absolutely.
you relationships to these. So there's other ones, the parents of, like, you have a whole bunch of stuff, like the common consequences, the platform, the likelihood of the exploit, which is high, which more than likely maybe you may be putting that in your own report. They give you demonstration examples that you can look at. I mean, they give you a ton of shit that OWASP doesn't give you.
Yes.
If we go to an OWASP, I'm going to go to OWASP real quick. Look at this. They give you an overview, right?
Yeah.
Give you relative security activities, how to review code, cross-site scripting, vulnerability to guidelines, how to test,
and their test and stuff. All of that is so terrible.
yeah. I mean, look at this. Now they give you a few examples. Yeah, okay.
All of which won't work.
Right. But look at this. Each one, the different, from JSP, ASP.NET, JSP, ASP.NET, different versions, PHP. I mean, you get a whole bunch of varieties and things that relate to, but again, you get severities, you get technical details, you get other relationships between other, vulnerable, other names of it, or other types. It could be special elements, relative HTML tags, different stuff like that. I mean, it give you a variety of stuff, and the way it's labeled out is crazy. It's like insane. You can get high level view of it filtered through. You could just get a lot of things. The same way, if I went here, so I'm just gonna look it up real quick. All right, cross-site scripting. So they give you the severity, still by MITRE.
Right.
It's a different person. They give you the likelihood, the severity, the relationship, the view. They give you the execution flows. I mean, the prerequisites, the skill required, resources, consequences, mitigations, examples. Not as much as CWE, and they also tie the CWE to it as well.
Right. And all of the data in here is such that you can quickly put it into your CVSS calculator and get a score. Everything is available so you can do what you need to do to create consistent reports, but you don't get that from OWASP.
Nope. Like it's just way more consistent than OWASP top 10, and everybody need to start switching over, because nothing against OWASP. I mean, thank you guys for
I hate
doing it. Even though Dan will hate you forever, and like I said,
you're terrible
I
people.
just started learning, but I thank you guys for putting in some work, but it's horrible. You guys everybody needs to switch over to the CWE top 20 and start referencing them, or other projects of MITRE's, because it's way more informative, and it'll help you guys a lot, especially when you're trying to learn the vulnerability and learn how to explain it. There's a lot of details and code samples that will help you explain it, and we talk about that in our further future episodes that are coming out about remediation. So this is something that, as a penetration tester, is your job, or working at contract. And these can take it a little further. These are a lot more technical and detailed, and doesn't look like a child's book, or child's wrote it like this.
Yes. Yes.
So yeah, it's definitely time to switch over. Definitely.
If you haven't already, I'd strongly encourage people to look at it. You'll find the data is much more technical, it's much more complete. And at the same time, it's easier for technical personnel, like developers, to understand. It's easier for you to reference, and it's easier for you to defend your ratings and scores, especially since you're using a tried and true, very trusted guide rather than OWASP or making your own silly stuff up like they do.
Hey, I barely have people even arguing about it. When you put in a reference to the MITRE and it gives all that example, there's nothing to argue about.
Yeah.
And they have the CVEs, and even using NIST as a reference, there's a lot of good data in there for them CVEs. So I reference that as well. If I have any CVEs, it goes to that. And there's nothing to debate because it's out there.
Yeah.
The data is there, and they explain it to you very well. And you have a lot of references. Like when you have stuff to back up your argument, there's nothing to debate.
Yeah.
But when it comes to OWASP, there's nothing to back up. There's no CVEs tied to it. And you send some of my client there, they're looking like, what the hell is this? Most projects doesn't exist, or they're broken and they're not up to date. It's hard to keep things up to date. But MITREs, they keep all their stuff up to date all the time.
Yes.
I've never had a problem with it, but OWASP is always broken.
Yes.
It's
Yes.
always.
Yes.
I mean, so I can't even put a reference together for a thick client top 10 or even for IoT. So it's time to switch over, guys. It's time to stop being lazy and stop,
being
not
noobs.
being subjective to change. And
Yes.
as he said, being noob and being white hats. I'm going to get my gray hat shirt coming very soon. The Roniel and DaRon podcast show, gray hats, no white hats.
No way.
No white hatness in this piece. All right. But anyway, that has been our time. I am Roniel.
I am DaRon.
And if you haven't already, please subscribe, like, comment. Comment down below if you have any other topics you would like us to talk about. If you would like to join and come on and flame DaRon or have some conversation with Roniel, we're always up for it for future episodes. And also, if you haven't already, go get you some Wawa, get you some water. You're going to need it. Stay dehydrated, help as well. And until the next time. Later.
Have fun.
I don't have any smart water.
Oh,
right.
Damn. What are we going to advertise today?
I don't even know how to say their name, but just get you some water. That's all we're going to say.